What's the story of these playoffs so far, in your estimation? What do you got for
Patrick Mahomes entering his MJ era, and what that means is that amazing players become minor characters. That's what Michael Jordan did for an entire generation of NBA stars, and that's what Patrick Mahomes is doing now. Like,
Yeah.
don't be surprised when it happens. I feel like we all got blindsided by this.
Well, it's because we all watched the receivers this year, right? And we saw second half shutouts that actually cost him a division game.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the things that we hadn't seen Mahomes do, we hadn't seen him lose a division game, right? We also didn't see him lose it on officials, and also lose his skull in a way that we never see from him, where he tells Josh Allen the officials essentially gave you the game. You know, that he didn't say those words, but his actions certainly communicated that. So we saw some things we just really hadn't seen. A Christmas Day loss at home to the Raiders. So I guess that was maybe part of the rope-a-dope from the football gods.
I mean, I think there were genuine emotions, but I think we were all missing the real story, which was they were getting an elite young defense, which I think over the next 5 years will be more important than MVS dropping a pass or Kadarius Toney getting all of these snaps. And the Toney problem has obviously been shelved for right now, as Toney has been shelved. But I think that, like, when we look back on this run, we're going to say Steve Spagnuolo with a young, aggressive defense with the draft picks they've hit on with. I mean, who knows what happened to the Chris Jones situation, but that was more important than the receiver situation. I said this mid-year, but like literally the problem was Patrick Mahomes getting chemistry with his receivers. Like, I'll take that every single day, and I bet the Chiefs will too. And so I guess, I think I'm old enough to make this reference, and anybody under 30 won't get it, but Mahomes is MacGyver. He will figure this out. He gets these problems and he solves them. He's the best problem solver in the sport. Reed is right there to help him. I mean, I don't know the next time I'm going to doubt him. It's not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah, so not in 2 Sundays. That's for sure, right?
No. I cannot say he's in his MJ era and then pick him to lose the next game.
It's funny. Earlier we had Robert Griffin III on, and he started saying who is Pippen, who's Kukoc, and and things of that nature. When it comes to the Super Bowl and whatnot. It's interesting you bring up MJ. Kevin Clark here on the Rich Eisen Show. What is your opinion of the Purdy conversation that you're hearing nationally right now?
Oh gosh, it's the most nuanced conversation. I know we're not allowed to do nuance here in the media.
You can hear, Kevin. You can hear. Go ahead.
One of the most nuanced I've ever seen. Because I believe three of the 5 players in history at the quarterback position who have been 8 yards per attempt, which is a really, really high number. 3 of the 5 have been Kyle Shanahan quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo being one of them, Purdy being one of them. Kyle Shanahan create stars at the quarterback position. Not everybody can do it, but if you have the requisite skills, he can do that. Having said that, what I understand is this. Brock Purdy is a savant, let's say, or a uniquely gifted at running the Shanahan offense. We've seen a lot of guys who have not been this good. We've seen guys who have been more careless with the football, face mask pass notwithstanding. So I think you just see that they're comfortable with it and they're gonna roll. And I think that the only time we have to discuss value or is he a top 10 quarterback is when it's contract time, and that's not anytime soon. And so are there more guys? I mean, I think that if I could get sort of a truth serum thing in any situation in football right now, Rich, it would be shutting the door in the Niners facility and saying to Kyle Shanahan, how many guys could you get to do this? How many guys around the league could you get to Brock Purdy's stats? Could you get to his playoff wins? He would know the answer. None of us can figure it out from the outside. And right now they're rolling with Brock Purdy and they're comfortable with it. And so the value conversation comes much later. Mahomes is obviously significantly better, but Purdy with Shanahan can make up a lot of ground.
I mean, we'll talk about a matchup, right, of 2 guys at their current stations in their career, because, I mean, we always overuse the word GOAT, right? Greatest of all time and things of that nature. But Mahomes is the only guy that can approach Planet Brady, right? Like if to use, I guess, the pop culture analogy, he launched the ship about 7 years ago, and he's closer in light years now, and he might be 10 years removed from actually approaching the planet. but he's as far than any passenger's gotten, right? You'd think?
1,000,000%. I never saw this coming. When in the middle of the throes of sort of the Patriots dynasty, I never saw someone coming this quickly behind them as far as the floor being so high. Here's what I mean by that. The floor for Reed and Mahomes is the AFC title game. That is not normal. And then once you get to the AFC title game, you either need to hope they have a significant flaw or that you can play perfect football. Well, the Ravens didn't play perfect football on Sunday. We saw that, and the Chiefs didn't really have a flaw. So that was their first problem. But I just never anticipated this much success. I mean, Andy Reid, I mean, we can talk about this right now, or we can talk about it in 6 years, but Andy Reid is 6 years younger than Bill Belichick. He has 641 winning percentage. Belichick had 647. And he's going to win probably a bunch more Super Bowls. So the GOAT coach conversation is also kind of baked in there. What happens in 10 years if over the next 7 years of Mahomes' contract, they win 3 more Super Bowls, they win 4 more Super Bowls? What if they get to 5 more? I don't know. Anything's possible in this dynasty. And I just didn't think, it's funny because when Brady left Belichick, I thought nothing's going to change my mind about the Patriots dynasty. Greatest coach, greatest quarterback. Well, then Brady wins the Super Bowl in Tampa. Belichick has some lean years. And now we have a dynasty that has, I'm not going to overstate this, but the capability to be that kind of sustained success over 15 years if Andy Reid wants to coach that long and as long as Mahomes stays healthy.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.